All right, so our water heater just gave up the ghost on us. Like the noobs we are, we didn't bother recording it, so I do apologize. It was about 2 inches of water in this back corner. Got all under the paint, so the paint's coming up. I'm gonna drain out what I can from the tank. I don't have a pump, so I can only go as low as the bucket lip. But the less water that's in here, the less water we'll have to deal with leaking onto the floor. The rest is kind of boring, so. Alright, so the tank's pretty much done draining now. So we've got the main valve up there. I'm going to replace the bleed screw. So when we do get it running again, I don't have water spraying halfway across the room. The electrical is unplugged. The gas is off. This guy is essentially decommissioned, so it's officially no longer our problem. It is the problem of Enbridge Gas, because they own it. All right, we got a replacement temporarily to swap out for this guy. So we're going to get her out of here eventually, but first we have to go to Home Depot and get all the replacement parts, and then I can have hot water in the house again, which will be nice. So it's early Sunday morning, a really busy day yesterday, so I'm gonna try to get this out of here and seal these pipes up so it stops dripping. I believe one of the taps upstairs is allowing a bit of cold water into the hot water circuit, so that's why this tank continuously drips. I had it pulled out, put a proper stop valve on the other side, and get that done before my friends show up later today. So let's crack on. As you can see, there is a nasty solder job here. There is solder down on top of the part of the nut that has to move. I'm hoping it still does without twisting the pipe. The other side is a little better. No, just as bad. Just as bad. It's never a dull moment with an old house. That's definitely going to fall under the fun category. Nope, that is definitely seized up. So we're going to have to blowtorch it first, pop this off, and then maybe just leave it there? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, touch the torch. Some steel wool to clean her off. There we go. Yeah, that center part is definitely spinning with the nut. They were definitely joined together. Oh look, lots of corrosion. Who would have thought? As you can see, there's no drips, tons of corrosion. So the water's coming in from the other side. I strongly suspect the kitchen faucet being the weak link in the system. But let's pop on over to the other side and get that one off. That joint's hot, but the water on the other side is stopping me from getting it hot enough to unsolder, which is going to be problematic. So let's move up a little bit. There is a joint right here that hopefully is a lot less difficult. Nah, it's gonna have to be cut out. raunchy sound coming from this bad boy. Hate to hear it. Bucket under the leak. Let's get this capped off. That is my priority number one right now. I know the valve is keeping the gas out. I can't smell it. I can't hear it. I don't want to be anywhere near it or have any sort of potential for it to cause issues. There we go. Bright and shiny. Triple check that's still sealed up. I am getting a smell of something. It is not natural gas. I think I'm just smelling this nastiness here. So let's get our cap on that. Oh look, an appropriately sized fitting. Screws on nice. If you're not already doing it, anytime you do a Home Depot run or any sort of box store run, take advantage of their return policies. It's just so much easier to have a variety of parts that you might need and return the rest than, oh, I only need this, and run out to the store a bunch of times, even if they're just around the corner. Nothing slows you down by not having the things you need. The Teflon tape, while thin, is rated for natural gas applications. So we're just gonna wrap it a bunch of times. I think that's sufficient. You always wrap it so your end sweeps in the direction you'll be screwing on so you don't pull it back up. I've got pipe dope that is rated for natural gas. And needs a real good stir, apparently. Now, I've seen people debate whether it's safe to do this. It is. I've seen people debate the order, and I forget where I heard the explanation the best, but the answer is never put dope underneath your tape, because then your tape's floating on top of dope. Always put dope on last, if you're doing both. Let's clean the excess from the bottom. Thread my cap on by hand. If you ever wondered, like, oh, he totally does this professionally, look at me struggle with these wrenches, specifically the orientation of the pipe wrench. Ugh, you know I don't do this for a living. This is not muscle memory here. I have to think. I think that's good enough. Quick cleanup of excess dope. When you're a DIYer, you don't care about, like, oh, it's wasting dope. Like, nah, who cares? You're not caring about cost of materials as much as ensuring that it's done correctly. And remember, if I put a whole, like if I waste $20, $30, $40 doing this up, but it's done so I don't have to have someone professional come in and do it, I still save the money, still ahead. So I'm gonna go, I wanna get a water soap solution. We're gonna put it on here, and we're gonna see if this actually stopped the gas, because I want to be certain of that. I wanna leave this in the off position always, but in the off chance someone knocks it, it goes on. That way, I'll be certain that no one, like, I don't have a gas leak. I'm also just gonna take this off and like use this to just secure it up there, because that way you can't. But still, I want absolute certainty that this thing can, in fact, hold line pressure and not leak. I'm gonna brush on my soapy solution. A nice lot, you want a lot of it. And when I do this, if nothing happens, then we're golden. If I get a bunch of bubbles popping up, I've got an issue. I don't know if any of you guys have like limits that you just generally don't do. This is mine. I just generally do not want to touch, deal with, and anyway have dealings with the natural gas side of things. The prospect of blowing up my own house terrifies me. I mean, in theory, it's not leaking. It is solid. I know what I'm doing. I could probably do this all day. I just don't like it. There's also legal things. If my house blows up because I blow it up, the insurance ain't gonna cover it, and I do not have that kind of money. But it's also good to know your boundaries and know when it's appropriate to push them and when it's appropriate to like not touch them, because they're good, safe boundaries you have for a reason. Beautiful. So we'll just turn this off. Got a handy dandy adjustable wrench here. Pop this nut off. Pop this arm off. Put the nut back on for storage. Oh look, got a nice little metal twist tie up here. What I'll probably do is when I have the having people in to install an HVAC system eventually, I'll have their people take this back further, and until then this can just dangle here precariously. Oh nice, put in August 25th, 1992. I think the water heater's from 92. Wow. Anyways, now we also have to deal with this constant drip that's going on here. Since the flow of water is up and into the pipe, I can't use the bread trick. Bread trick, if you're not familiar with it, is you shove a piece of bread in there and it stops the water from flowing long enough for you to put your fittings on. And I don't want to fire bread up and into my hot water system because it just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the water of the house, drain the lines, and that will stop the water from dripping down here. And I'll put a stop valve in. I'll run a line out of it to tie into. And yeah, I'll make that super long and we'll just cut it back to what I need later. Because I only want to heat up that joint once. With that much water out of the system, hopefully I can get this thing to stop dripping. So this is a long run of copper. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a quick blowtorch to it to dry off the parts that are going to get steam, and that way I'll hopefully have to deal with dripping while I'm putting it on. Prep time. Outer edge. Burr it a bit. Wipe off the gunk. That's all prepped up. Nice and pretty. Rinse and repeat for the adjoining pipe. One of the things I have the biggest problems with doing all this work, making sure I go nice and slow and do all the steps properly. You're kind of excited, you want to finish quickly, or you just want to finish quickly so you're done. That's when steps get missed. Always give yourself and others enough time to do the work right. And now to party. I'm going to put the air bleed facing down, just like the other one, so that all the air can go into the water tank. I am going to solder this bottom half first, then hold it up while I do the top, so that way I don't have to do an under solder. I like underhang solder. It's easiest that way. So I got it supported. Don't touch this. It's still very, very hot at this point. It's good enough for me. Let's solder it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So we're just gonna let that cool off by itself for a while. That really hurt. I had touched the brass pipe off camera and it was very, very hot. Or brass fitting rather. Just gotta get rid of the old guy.
Success!
Now that the water heater's out, the battle's half over. We still don't have hot water, but that's a task for another day.